if I run for president and if I win, the Second Amendment will be totally protected. That I can tell you.
Donald Trump in Nashville at the NRA convention back in April, and what we heard right there was absolutely all he had to say on that occasion pertaining to the Second Amendment. The question becomes, in the course of a campaign, is it enough? So pleased to have NewsMax contributor Morgan Thompson back with us on the anchor desk. Great to have you here, Morgan.
Great to be here.
And in addition to Morgan right here, we have a couple of guests ready to talk about this via Skype. First from Tampa, we welcome Franco Ripple, Democratic Media Strategist and Vice President of KateCom Public Relations. And from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, also by Skype, Dr. John Lott, President of Crime Prevention Research Center and author of the book, More Guns, Less Crime: Understanding Crime and Gun Control Laws. Dr. Lott, let me begin with you. How would you rate Donald Trump as a Second Amendment advocate?
It's great to talk to you, JD. Well, I mean, I guess it depends when you talk about him over time. He's had a lot of different positions on guns. Just a few years ago, he would have supported an assault weapons ban, waiting periods for people being able to obtain guns, as well as the so-called expanded background checks. You know, with regard to the assault weapons ban, he said that only police should have these, quote, assault weapons. But when you listen to his discussion of it, it's pretty clear he had no real clue about what assault weapons were. I mean, these are semi-automatic rifles, essentially functioning as any semi-automatic hunting rifle would function. It's just that they look different on the outside cosmetically. They may look like an M16, but they function just like any hunting rifle would.
Now, Franco, to you, as a strategy, are Democrats reduced to pointing out the contradictions on Trump's stance on guns? Is that what the strategy is?
Well, first of all, this is the easiest issue in the world to talk about, because all you have to do with gun violence is point out the facts. And as John pointed out, yes, in Donald Trump's 2000 book, he said ban assault weapons, and he said extend the waiting period. He didn't use any qualifiers for those. He just said that. Those two things are anathema to the Republican Party today. And so it's just another example of Donald Trump's hypocrisy. But as I said, the facts are all you need in this debate. And the truth is that 55 people commit suicide a day with a gun. 31 people a day in this country are murdered with a gun. The people committing those clearly should not have guns. And mental health has a lot to do with that.
Well, mental health issues are certainly important, but also maintaining Second Amendment rights. We should point out for the record that John Lott, now you back me up on this, I believe at the NRA convention, Trump was questioned specifically about the AR-15, and he has changed his position on assault weapons and an assault weapons ban, correct?
Right. No, now he's down the line in agreement with what I think should be the right positions. But Frank is just simply wrong on the facts. I mean, look, there's a lot of research that's looked at suicides. There's a lot of different ways that people can commit suicides. Nobody wants people to go and commit suicides, but the research shows that if you were to get rid of guns, people would find another way, and they do, to go and commit suicides.
In a lot of ways, journalists ask questions of presidential candidates. For example, NBC News' Katie Tour sat down with Trump after he first announced for president. Listen to this exchange, then we'd like to get your reaction to it from both of you.
You're for the Second Amendment. Do you have a gun?
I have a license to have a gun. Yes, I do.
Do you own one?
Yes, I do.
Do you use it? Gun range?
It's none of your business. It's really none of your business. I have a license to have a gun.
Gun control?
What are you talking about?
Or a stronger background check?
Yes, I have a gun. Excuse me. Yes, I have a gun, and yes, I have a permit to have a gun.
Stronger background checks? What about that? Is there any steps that you would take to make it harder to get a gun in this country?
The problem is, once you get into that, you start getting into a situation, the slippery slope, where all of a sudden you're going to really violate the Second Amendment. I don't want to do anything to violate the Second Amendment.
So, Franco, when you listen to that exchange, does Trump win it more on style points or on his substantive response?
Neither. He wins on neither account, because I'm glad we brought up the NRA, where he said some of those comments. 9 in 10 people in this country, 9 out of 10, support universal background checks, including 75% of NRA members. And the truth is today, only 60%, this is important, only 60% of guns get background checks. So what is he afraid of?
Let's give the final 30 seconds to Dr. Lott. Your take on Trump, the Second Amendment, and the upcoming campaign, sir.
Right. Well, I mean, the way I would have argued isn't just to focus on the Second Amendment. I would say that the types of regulations that are being pushed make people less safe. They raise the cost of people getting guns, make it particularly so that poor people can't do it. The current background check system's a mess. Virtually everybody who's stopped is a law-abiding person who should have been able to do it, but it's a false positive. And, you go and the facts that were just being stated are completely wrong.
And gentlemen, we will just have to leave it right there. Our thanks to you both. We're coming back.